Hello and welcome back. Today is a different kind of day because we are going to split this into two parts. And what I mean by that is that this chapter is really long, and I'd rather do it in two parts than talking about it for probably an hour and a half or two. Just so, just for the sake of like our sanity. So this is the chapter. It is called Towers. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the intro. Appreciate all of the feedback we've been getting, the engagement, not just the Fall to Equestria videos, but the other ones as well. Really appreciate it. Keep on commenting. We're gonna keep on that's being edited out. But yeah, keep on commenting, keep up with the engagement. We love to see what you guys have to say about it. And of course, we're gonna have our responses towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. But yep, Enclave here, and I'm joined with my other host, Afterglow. So take the
Oh,
mic.
this is going to be a very funny chapter. I'm looking forward to it. Uh, it was boring until I remembered all the shit that happens in it.
All right. Is all you have to say. It's boring until you
Yeah,
remember everything that happened to it.
yeah. I was bored for like the first half, and I started laughing. Then I wasn't bored.
Because it was bad, or is because it was actually interesting for once?
I mean, I guess it's a little interesting.
Mm. I didn't mind this one. I think it does a little bit better compared to some of the later chapters. It did get my attention, reminding you that this is my third time listening to Fallout Equestria Vanilla. Um, so I kind of see something different every time I listen to it, especially that I'm trying to review it now. So it always offers something a bit different. And man, I hate Velvet Remedy. I just want to get that out there right now. So, yep.
She does not even in that much in this chapter, but what the little time she has, she really shits it up.
Yeah, no, she really does as they say, shit the bed. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So, Towers. It's called Towers. Gee, I wonder where we're going. And we start off in the outskirts of Manhattan. So once again, we got to shoehorn locations from the show. I won't knock any points out for this one because they didn't mention that they were going to go here. And sure, I mean, Manhattan was mentioned quite a few times in the show. We saw it as well quite a few times. And it's, you know, inspired by Manhattan. Whoa, big reveal. So we see things we normally expect in Manhattan. It's kind of interesting because again, we all know, hindsight being 2020 here, that K-Cat took a lot of inspiration from Fallout 3. And this chapter, as well as the next couple ones, you can clearly tell that like they were playing Fallout 3 while writing this. So we jump right into it, right? I like the ambience of Manhattan, though. I do appreciate them describing that they hear creatures, lurking around. They hear the odd firefight, clearly going on in the distance, whether it's ponies against, other ponies, raiders and merchants going at it, or, explorers, fighting beasts that lurk around in the ruins. So I like that. I like that a lot. It adds more, you know, again, ambience to the story, and it kind of lets your imagination kind of flow, because in a location as massive as this, it would be one weird if it was just super quiet, because then it's like, okay, what is going on here that, has this huge ruined city just completely quiet? Is there like some type of chemical or bacteria, or even of course radiation going on that keeps everything out? Or are there like, you know, is it cleared out in the sense of there's a faction there that, spent the time clearing out all the ruins and stuff like that? or worse comes to worse, maybe there's these like creatures that come out at night, you know, and rip and tear everything that tries to even, you know, make a settlement there. So, you know, that's also kind of a side note if you ever want to like start writing and stuff like that. You have this massive like populated area that's just either really quiet, you know, for environmental reasons, or really quiet because of a faction cleared it out, or there's some beasties that come out at night. One thing before I pass the mic to you is we first encounter zombie zebras, which is interesting because I don't know why they call them zombie zebras when there was previous chapters that they were calling them ghouls, ghoul ponies. So I don't know if it was a haha funny like, you know, zombie zebra. They also mention that there are also zombie ponies. So I'm not sure if they just this is a continuity issue, or maybe these are different compared to the ghoul ponies. But again, we ran into the ghoul ponies um, when we were under the what was it? Cloudsdale. You know, the ruins of Cloudsdale when the group was trying to run away from that massive horde. So again, maybe a continuity error. Um, One thing, again I'll pass the mic to you. Continue this idea. So clearly something bad happened because the Bellfire explosion came from underneath the city, and little Pip, you know, while dealing with the zombie ponies along with the group, she was kind of thinking about it and saying like, "Huh, you know, these zebras had help from traders." You know, and she said the trader ponies were probably more than likely came from the transportation department, which again, I don't know how she was able to deduct that, but you know, maybe she's really good at deductive reasoning. I don't know. Um, so it just they could have done a little bit more with that. It would have been more interesting if they would have like played with that idea a little bit more rather than like just jumping right into it and saying like, oh, there's like traitors here and they just snuck in the Bellfire, you know, bomb and this and that. So they deal with it. Still Who's being Still Who just blows everything up. Uh, Velvet hesitates even though there were zombies, and Calamity takes the shots, and Little Pip finds her zebra rifle as well as a zebra legionnaire's armor. Other than that, I don't think she picks up anything else. I could be missing something, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the mic, throwing it to you.
Oh man, that zebra rifle crazy. I'm pretty sure she uses that for like the rest of the story.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah,
really
so it's literally just cheats, just magical chance bullets. You don't have to put special ammunition. Does it work for you?
yes, sir. It's OP.
I can't wait to find out how that works in like 30 chapters.
Actually, no, we see an example of it though in the next upcoming
Yeah,
event.
but I guess, but I don't think Pip knows how it works yet.
Oh, you mean by that way? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think she knows how it works. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, they see a crazy balefire phoenix, and I'm sure that won't ever come back. 'Cause that'd be stupid. That'd be pointless. Who cares about it? All right, are we gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about the funny scene yet?
I mean, we can. Steel Hooves does make a little comment saying like, "Oh, you know, the reason why they have the Balefire Phoenix is because, you know, haha, funny. These are one of those creatures that got affected by the Balefire, and since it's a Phoenix and cannot be, you know, destroyed, it came back like that." And Velvet just kept asking questions for whatever reason. I don't know why she just all of a sudden had a massive interest in the Phoenix, but it is what it is. And yeah, we can talk about the funny scene now.
Oh boy. All right, so it's just Mayor being attacked by a group of raiders and yeah, touching a no square. And then so Pip and Calamity start blasting.
So I started
And then
blasting.
yeah, like a Chad. He they see this Colt one and Pip's like, I can't deal it, I'm too much of a bitch boy. Then Calamity just blasts him in the head. And Velvet is not happy. But she's never happy, so who cares?
Mm.
So yeah, perfectly based, justified. What a Chad.
Hmm. I did not appreciate Velvet throwing a fit for killing those raiders that were committing a crime that I personally don't see any forgiveness for. So the fact that she was crying over a certified rapist really pissed me off because she doesn't, as you said, prior to this recording, she doesn't really say much in this chapter. And she actually does some smart things, but it's just overshadowed by the fact that she's like crying over this, you know, cult. And I don't care. Like, I get it. It's gritty. It's Fallout. Things like this happen in this universe. But just because they're a kid doesn't excuse them for those behaviors, those actions, rather. So just,
I kind of forgot how good of a character Calamity is.
yeah, no, it was funny because he's like, what? Did I take your shot? Just like,
Yeah, my favorite quote of the whole thing.
yeah. Like, little Pip hesitated too, but I think she was about to line up the shot and Calamity just took it, you know? So it's just funny to me that he says that. And then of course Velvet Remedy's like, oh my god, it was a child. Why'd you do it? You know? Insert insert Metal Gear Solid meme like, boss, they were just kids. Like, who gives a crap? I don't care. Like, good on
I mean,
Calamity.
yeah, the big argument comes later with them.
Oh yeah, that comes by later, and it's very funny. Um, Intermission though, real quick. Um, this is gonna be post production, but based Chinese PonyCon, they have a little Pip cosplayer out there. So even over there, this story this story has crossed the great ocean, and there's fans of that over there. So it's very
I'm
interesting.
almost certain there's a Chinese translation.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. If there was a Russian one, and I believe there was a French and German one, I'm sure there's a Chinese one as well. They're having a good time over there. I mean, I think the con is already done, but yeah, it was just a 2-day event. Looks like they're having a better time than TrotCon, but
I,
yeah.
I prefer the blackjack cosplayers, but that's cool too.
I'm sure there's more photos. I'm not gonna look through the Google Drive just yet. I mean, there's other things we can talk about after that. It's a different podcast entirely slash recording. But I just want to do a quick little intervention there. I mentioned that TrotCon stay losing. Anyways, back to the story. So Calamity goes, tries to help the mayor because, of course, traumatic experience. She's injured and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we get to this one part before we get to the to 10 Pony Tower that I want to talk about real quick. That kind of has a callback to the zebra and pony traders that assisted the zebras. So right after this event happens, little Pip and the rest of the group take notice of this billboard, and the billboard says this, and I quote: "Ponies love laughter. Zebras do not understand joy and fear it. Ponies are honest. Zebras tell only lies. Ponies are loyal. Zebras will knife you in the back. Ponies are generous. Zebras are selfish and greedy. Ponies care about each other. Zebras care only about themselves." So the reason why I bring this up is because I'm going to ask you this, right? Do you think this has more weight after the fact that little Pip deduces that there were traitor ponies that assisted the zebras to get the Bellfire bomb? Or would this quote have more impact um, before they found the zebras and traitor ponies?
Well, I'm just shocked about the fact they left out an element, but besides that, uh,
Yeah, that's also a thing. I'm glad you caught that.
no, I think it's fine where it is. It makes it more funny immediately.
Mm. There's a bit of an
I
irony.
mean, could do either way. They're
I
both right
just,
next to each other either way.
just wanted to know your opinion on it. But that's really the only quote I have that really stuck out to me. Because for me, it was like, I think it would have been good to see it maybe before they ran into the zebras, because then they had like that thought in their mind, and maybe the group that could have had like a group conflict there. Because I don't want to say too much, but maybe one of the members in that group would have been like, "Yes, the zebras are this, and that." Like, oh, how do you know? Or like, they could have just brushed it off by saying like, "Oh, well, I encountered some of them, in my travels or whatever," and that's exactly what they do. They would have caused like some friction, right? It would have caused some friction in the group, but then they deal with the traitors and the ghoul zebras, and are like, oh my god, like, even the ponies that we were brought up to like fully believe in and all this kind of stuff, like even they had, you know turncoats, and it's bad. And I kind of like it because at least in the game they also explore that idea too, especially in Fallout 3. They have a Chinese remnant group within the capital wasteland, so it's bad when your capital's been infiltrated by the enemy, let alone like other places that mention it to you in the other games. But yeah, that's just wanted to bring that up. Go ahead and take the mic again because I've been talking a lot.
Well, I don't think that Head knows enough about zebras really to form a strong opinion one way or the other yet.
Mm, mm,
So I don't know if they really argue about it. I guess you just wouldn't care.
mm.
But yeah, Pip starts fiending for some more menthols that she does. Menthols, whatever the fuck. But naturally, she puts on a DJ Phone 3. And I think she's just talking about cool rations. I barely remember it. I know she didn't talk about Pip for once, so that's neat.
Mm.
And then, by sheer happenstance, he finds the MAS hub on the Manhattan one. I think there's more than one.
Yeah.
One of the hubs. And fucking the Watcher appeared for like one line of dialogue to talk about Twilight used to be in the running of the leaves and he just fucks off. I don't know the point of why he's there. Why even bother if he's only gonna show up for like 5 seconds?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why they did that. And I I like the scene, don't get me wrong. I do like um him mentioning that little lore bit. I mean, for them it's lore, but for the readers, The Running of the Leaves is a season 1 episode, and at the time, I believe this story was being written while season 1 was like wrapping up, going into season 2. There was a big hiatus for season 2 though, if I remember correctly. But just reading that part now brings back so many memories just from the show itself. Because Running the Leaves is like one of my favorite episodes. It really is.
You're falling for nostalgia, the exact thing that gets all the Fallout Equestria fans.
I mean, it maybe a little bit, but it's more of like nostalgia for the show than like for the story 100%, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
I like it. I mean, if you are gonna do a story, and like we said this plenty of times in the other previous Fallout Equestria reviews, I wouldn't shoehorn too much, but having little snippets like that, it makes the story feel real. Like these characters, in this universe, like they existed once, and 200 plus years now in the future, like they're gone, but it just adds more weight to the story because they didn't go in more peaceful matters. They all perished because of the war. So again, there's just a lot more weight to that. And that's why I told you, like, a lot of my favorite parts in this story most of the time is either recordings from the ponies in the past and like notes and stuff, because again, like it just always puts that weight of like there were others before us and they're gone, especially when we find an environmental skeleton next to a piece of paper or recording. That's always fun. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Well, I'm gonna do a little bit of a funny and watch a shortest cameo to give my opinion on it. I
Hmm.
know we've given him a lot of shit, but how he's kind of an idiot sometimes.
Hmm.
And we can't really talk about him until the funny reveal happens, like later. But he's all right. He
Yeah,
tries to help. I don't know how many other ponies he like helps out besides Little Pit, but I assume at least a couple. Like if he sees a pony about to go into a minefield, it's like, hey, probably don't go in there.
I think he like insinuates that he's helped others in the past, but I could be wrong.
I
Cause
mean, he is helping for selfish reasons. But that's also later.
yeah, I mean later on we're gonna have the whole story of like why he's helping little Pip so much. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that.
I think he's all right as he is now.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't really have that many complaints really about him either. He's all right. I mean, I just wish the trope of him disappearing right before he's about to say something very important would like not be a thing, not be so constant rather.
I mean, this one implies that does it on purpose.
Oh, yeah. This one at least for sure. This one at least for sure cuz it let's be honest here, my first time ever reading it, um just by saying that little lore bit, we can tell that either this individual behind the sprite bot either knew Twilight Sparkle or knew of her like to the point of like researching her, but it leans more to like this individual knew her like personally. Because if he would have just
Yeah,
said,
that's probably like our biggest foreshadowing from him and turning
yeah,
okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it. I mean, they don't really do it like, oh, it's right in your face, but like, come on, like, this is the one where it's like, oh, if they would have just said, oh, she used to participate in the running leagues all like every year, then that would have been fine. But the fact that they know that she never won one, that's when it was like, okay, I'm starting to guess who this might be, but it's still there's still multiple probabilities of who it could be, you know. But of course, we both know because we both read this story, so it's kind of like, oh, okay. But yeah, that's all I got for that.
All right, see you in like 5 chapters or whatever, Watcher. You don't appear that much.
Hmm.
Yeah, they make it to a 10 pony tower. And I shit you not, this motherfucker read that does the official quote unquote reading keeps saying 10 penny, like the actual name in the game. Uh you tried, I guess. Maybe they're just pronouncing it weird. I don't know. But it really sounds like it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
guard gives them shit and they lie and say they got an appointment with the DJ Pone
DJ
3.
Pone 3.
Which this is that's important. Remember that.
Hmm.
And they bribe her some caps to let them in.
Yeah, this is one of those few times where Velvet has she's useful.
Yeah, her barter skill is like tapped.
Yeah, she has a lot of bartering and charisma is pretty good. So I appreciated that part. And it was kind of funny how little Pip interrupts her, right? Like they're trying to like talk their way in there, and then little Pip like messes it up. So it kind of insinuates right there that little Pip's speech slash bartering or whatever charisma rather overall, for it's like to say that her charisma overall isn't that
Her
great.
Riz.
Her Riz is not good. Yeah, her Riz is not good because that guard immediately was like, hmm, hmm. I don't know about that one, Chief. But then like Velvet came in to like salvage what was going on. So again, I give Velvet credit where credit's due, and she did a good job here in bartering. Um, yeah, you want to talk about anything else in this particular scene? Because we did miss something. We did miss something before this happened.
Not in my notes, but what is it, bud?
Um, little Pip mentions that the raid that occurred at 4 stars was literally minutes away from saving Manhattan and possibly um, what's it called, other parts of Equestria, because the raid occurred and they even had the military involved, specifically the Steel Rangers that went in there and they were starting to deal with the traitors, but the Bellfire bomb went off, and I believe this is a also reference to Fallout 3. I'm sure it's Fallout 3, not New Vegas. This particular thing also happened where the FBI, or I think it's called the FBI. I think there's another organization too in Fallout, but I believe it was the FBI. They raid a compound, and they it was really overkill because they brought in a bunch of sentry bots in there. They just sent a bunch of sentry bots in there, so we missed that part, and little Pip is like all like doomer after that because she's like, oh my god, like Pinkie Pie was so close and like saving everybody, and then she kind of like, you know, I wouldn't say uh what's the word here, she basically justifies to use the mentats or mentals, whatever you want to call them, more because she starts saying like, oh well, maybe it was those that gave her the foresight to like call in the raid. Had she only used them like more often, maybe she would have caught them. So we forgot that little snippet, but that was, I just wanted to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, sure. But the weird thing is, they don't have to check their guns; they have to check their ammo.
Yeah,
You make them like empty out their clips and make sure there's nothing in there before you let them. Like, why not just take their guns?
they one of the guard ponies is a unicorn mare, and she had like a spell that was able to see any ordnance, basically anything that would count as like a projectile. So she did like instead of a metal detector.
That's put out of K Cat's asshole. But sure, let's say that exists.
I guess. I mean, there would
I
be
can count your bullets just by looking at them. Like, wouldn't
exactly
every fucking unicorn know that spell in the wasteland if they could? So then you know
true,
exactly how many bullets your enemies had. So you know
true,
when you can shoot back. But
true.
okay.
No, that's you're not wrong there. Because I think if we were to think about this in a lore perspective, like mixed with Fallout, this would probably be like either like a gun skill, small guns, big guns, and maybe traps. And the reason why I say trap skill is if she's able to see ordnance, then that would imply that she would be able to see mines and like trap doors or like pressure plates or whatever. So you're very right. This is a spell that either Velvet Remedy or Little Pip, like they would have mentioned it like way before, or some other merchant would have like gave him a book or something, try to what rather not give him but sell him a book. And yeah, so this part I will agree with you there. Like it just came out of left field, and I'm just like, wait a minute, like this seems very important. Like how come nobody else knows this?
Like the most useful so you could possibly know for
Mm-hmm.
combat situations. Yeah, who needs that?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean this is giving me ideas for my own story. It's great, but I'm just saying like that, combining it with Fallout lore and this, that's how I would see it. So yeah.
Sure, sure. We're still under the assumption that every single NPC in this has a special stat.
We are. I mean, we could use the excuse that, oh, this might be their special in the sense of their cutie mark. So, she's a guard pony after all. I don't know if her special talent has to deal with guarding and protecting, but, again, it is something interesting because most people, they'll just, oh, the guard pony has a shield spell, or they're able to use a magical lance or something. I don't know, but like the quote unquote, I mean, it really is X-ray vision. Yeah, that would be a really useful skill. Maybe she has 100 on her gun skills as well, on trap skill. So who knows? Maybe her perception's 10 as well.
All right. Well, they decide they should go shopping and get their guns fixed. Before they can do that, Velvet and Calamity had the funny argument in the middle of the street about shooting that Colt. And then Calamity just proceeds to just absolutely ream her with facts and logic. And it's very cathartic. She deserves it. She needs to be told this. And I doubt she'll learn anything from it.
Hey man, I think it turns her on.
Probably.
She's like,
I mean,
oh,
they're gonna.
she's like, oh, you just put me in my place, and no one's ever done that before. Hey, some chicks are into that, man.
Look, man, stop projecting your fetishes onto these phones.
That's not even me.
And I think you just want to be able to tell women to shut the fuck up.
Bruh.
I
Yes.
mean, base, but still.
Nah, I think it's just with most people, they have those weird like complex complexes where if they're being told every single time like, oh yeah, you can have this, or like, oh no, no problem, it's this or that, like I'm sure they get tired of it. So you do something totally different and they're like, oh, and then hinting to Velvet, I mean, yeah, probably awoken something in her because she's literally treated as royalty in her stable. So having Calamity just come around and be like, nah, you're wrong. Shut up, shut up. Like, yeah, that's just my guess.
Well, actually, this time, Kip is the one that told everyone to shut the fuck up. Finally.
Oh yeah, no, she also steps up too. That is true. And it's just them two. Like Steel Hoops, it's funny, right? Steel Hoops says stuff and then he's just in the background, just like watching.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason he's doing that.
Well, yeah, his perception's like for sure his perception's 10. His charisma might not be that high, but I'm sure all his points went
with all
to
the characters that fucking scream and shout at each other, I'm glad to have one that's just a listener.
true. I will agree with that. I will agree with that. And I like it how he's before they step in, he's like, "Yeah, I hate ghouls too. I hate ghouls." The guard's just like, "Oh, that's good."
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure that's not a foreshadowing for something that's gonna happen like really soon. But yeah, very funny.
all right, so they fuck up to their room. Velvet gets them some new drip. And of course, as per usual, as the Bible says, Chip passes it for Velvet because he's wearing a dress.
Hmm.
And
And
I'm done
she.
talking about this shitty chapter. You go ahead.
Okay, you're done. Wow.
I mean, you can say what happens. It's all downhill from here.
Oh man, you're right. It pretty much the climax occurred. I would say when when they entered the Ten Pony Tower. There's a little bit of a second win that occurs a little bit afterwards. But what happens here is that she comes into the room and she does her little 1940s cartoon of like flashing her eyelashes because she did her makeup and she got like a pedicure or what do they call the hoofacure? I don't freaking know what they're called. So like
You were right.
she's all dolled up basically, right? So of course little Pip Simps, as you said, and then Calamity's just hubba 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 yeah, and it was just really weird like having him do that. I was like, okay, like that's not in his character, but I guess. And then of course Steel
We all
Hooves
know
being
ponies become 10 times hotter when they put on clothes.
yeah, okay. And then you have Steel Hooves as per usual, just kind of like these guys are freaking dumb. Why am I here? My hooves hurt. I wish I was back at home. Why can I not look at my Applejack statue? Whatever is going on in his little mind over there. So, Velvet's like, come on, little Pip, let's go have a spa day. And in my mind, I'm just like, I thought you guys said you were low on caps because they spend a good chunk on getting in. And then she went and go, and this is the thing that like kind of upsets me again. Ooh, look at the grand scheme of things when they're always talking about they're low on this or low on that. Um, she gave herself a spa day and did her hooves, got her dress, did her makeup, all the other stuff, which it's like whatever, I guess treat yourself if you want to, but like it's the wasteland. You're gonna lose all that within like an hour or two of just exploring. So that kind of upset me there because they obviously need money for medical supplies and food and other supplies that they might need. But again, this chapter doesn't have to deal with anything crazy, so the medical supplies trope doesn't pop up. But this time it's replaced by the food trope. So Little Pip's like, "Wow, we're broke, so let's only buy
Oh, you
food."
forgot the
What did I forget?
you forgot the obligatory pit simping for the swab mirror.
Oh, I didn't get there just yet because they finished breakfast and then yeah, Velvet Remedy's like, oh yeah, let's go do your your main and this and that, and like little Pip at first was like, no, that's a waste of money, but then fast forward to the meme comp, or what is it called? I forgot what they call it, but basically yeah, little Pip gets a spa day and she's like, oh, I feel so good, while like the spa mare is like giving her a massage. So kind of weird, kind of creepy, because you know we have to keep reminding the audience that little Pip is a little horny lesbian. um and again, I would be the same way if it was a straight character too, so I can't get canceled. But yeah, that happens, and then she gets a book, which is interesting because she failed her speech check earlier, and she doesn't have a great time speaking to other ponies. So this book that she finds is how to properly speak, like in upscale society, basically. So she's like, "Oh, can I buy this?" And yeah, I assume she bought it. Fast forward to her and Velvet Remedy walking down the hall, and this is your favorite part. So I'll give the mic to you because they run into one of your favorite characters.
This is slander and lies. I hated this guy in the first chapter he was introduced. Yeah, it's Monterey Jack. Hope you remembered him from like 14 chapters ago.
Yep. And then what? You're not gonna mention what happens?
Oh, geez, hold on.
Oh,
Monterey. I'm just there, by the way. Also, she's kind of there in the background watching. How does she know her name? But anyways, they
Monterey Jack says it. That's why.
oh, okay. There's a guard there. He goes, "Hey, guard, that motherfucker tried to rob me." And he's like, "No." And Little Pip gets hit by the socialist economy. She's too lower class for the guard to believe her. And then he's like, "Oh no, I actually did it."
Yeah.
And then he gets arrested. And funny enough, the punishment is death, which is great because this means this character will die. Also, important thing that happens: we find out that Little Pip has been in the wasteland for 3 weeks now. So there's your time frame update.
Mm. That's good
I
though.
appreciate it. I appreciate a time frame after reading Project Horizons. We're like 30 chapters in. It's like 2 days later from the start of the story.
Yeah. 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 I gotta
But
agree
yeah,
with that.
Monterey fucking self-reported, and he's gonna die. No
Mm-hmm.
one will care. I guess for his children, but they can get a better day.
Yeah, little Pip is like, whoa, 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 whoa! I didn't mean to report if that was the punishment. And the guard's like, nah, 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 nah. Like it is what it is. So that happens, and she's like, no, 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 wait, 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 no, 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 wait, 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 wait. But yeah, the guards just take her away, or take Monterey Jack away rather, and from there, um, she follows Homage. I will say that it was pretty funny how she's like, he's a thief, and the guards are like, oh, like the cheese may be pricey, but come on, let's not call him a thief. And he's like, no, he's like talking about when he stole stuff from me, which. I mean, if you're a Little Pip's position, would you have like reported this crime, or I mean, it's been 3 weeks, and wouldn't have
I mean,
mattered?
I'd be an asshole to him, but I wouldn't like report it.
Yeah. If anything, I'd just be like, wait a minute, you were the guy I saved. Like, what the hell was your problem back then? Because he just ran off in the first chapter. Like, he just runs off. Like, nothing else happens. Um,
And then he probably would have explained who did it for his family, and Pip probably would have forgiven. So
yeah, that's also like, I never understood that. He just straight up's like, I'm not a liar. Yeah, I did it.
That's crazy. I don't know why he even bothered denying it in the first place then.
Hmm.
Because he denied it for a little bit before he's like, okay, fine, I did.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't.
What a shit character. Honestly, like the worst NPC. Get him out of
Well, I mean, he's about to.
here. Yeah, that's not this chapter. That we got a little while.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's clearly gonna happen very soon because they just take him away, fellas. So he's little Pip's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and she's freaking out, and then she's like, I have to tell somebody, like hopefully DJ Pony, um, can listen to me and this and that. So kind of fast forwards a little bit again, um, and they end up, and like this is like how it's weird how it's like described. Feels like it's a totally different section of the tower, I guess. They end up in a location where there's like really nobody there at all, and Homage is like, oh, she's just there. She doesn't even talk to little Pip at first. She just nods at her, and like in her mind, she's like, oh, I guess you're like here to see like DJ Pony 3, and she just like again nods and stuff, like doesn't even speak, and then she again, she's like, oh wow, this mare is like similar to me. She's also very small, very 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 small. So, you know, yeah, oh boy, I wonder where this is gonna go. Um,
Oh boy, I can't wait for chapter 22 or
oh,
20.5
Jesus
actually.
Christ, we really have to go through that one.
It's in the official reading, so yes, it's
Oh
canon at that point.
my God. Ugh. So, yeah, they go up and
Wait. What are you? Why are you so against hot lesbian sex? What are you, gay?
no, it's just like I hate the fact that it took that much time for another love interest to come in, right?
It's not that far, bro. Only like a fourth way through the story.
Well, no, but it's just funny because okay, this thing happens all in like the most biggest convenient way. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but like something happens, little Pip witnesses it. She's all doomer mode after that, and then like magically this other mare's there to like, oh, you can cry on my shoulder, and I'm just like, this is just written like a bad like romantic comedy. But that's just my two
Hey.
cents.
If it means she stops simping for Velvet, I think we can take that trade.
Yeah, I guess we'll get there when we get there. So yeah, they both go up, and she realizes that Homage has a little secret, and she takes note of the room and stuff like that, and it's basically it's like a library. So it's what they're trying to do here is they're making like a parallel to like Twilight's old library from the first episode, right? Where we see her for the first time. She's in the library. And it's an interesting one because I do appreciate that it does that callback. Um, and there's the books, there's the bed, there's other like pieces of art and stuff like that. There's a water talisman there. There's a lot of like little things that like clearly shows that someone is living there. But then yeah, Homage changes her voice, and we find out that Homage is in fact DJ Pone 3.
I'm against this
Why are you against this?
because we didn't get no homage for like 3 paragraphs before the whole twist with our characters revealed. Like we should have at least gotten a couple scene, at least one full scene with homage where they said more than like 2 words of each other to find this out.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with it. I agree with it. The way you said it, yeah, I agree. It would have been
You don't even know who the fuck homage is before we find out who she actually is. Like what the fuck?
it would have been funny if Homage would have asked questions to like little Pip. Like, oh, what do you think about DJ Pone? And little Pip just starts like schizoing out and like, oh, I don't like her. She's always reporting this and reporting that. Da, 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 da. Like, I think it would have been funny.
And then after that, she just says nothing and walks over to the mic and starts barking.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all that already happens. They do a little broadcast, talks about Pip. How she gave. Wait, that didn't happen yet. Huh? When did she
Um,
give her the records?
that's not till later.
All right, wow, I don't remember what she did in the podcast.
The broadcast, she just talks smack about Monterey Jack because she witnessed the entire scene and like was like, "Oh, be nice to those that save you," and this and that. Which again, I don't know why Little Pip didn't tell the whole story, and then not Little Pip, sorry. Why did Monterey Jack not tell the whole story like right then and there? Because I would have, again, like you said, like I would have had more sympathy, right? He's the only parent alive. He has a affiliate in a cult. You know, like you said, like had he just said it, I think Little Pip would have been like, oh, okay, like you're still an asshole, but like I understand. And like Homage just double downs on that and just starts like talking even more smack. So I don't get it. I really don't. Um and yeah, I think she just explains to like Little Pip how she's able to see everything. She has like
Yeah,
cameras
the
everywhere.
psyop.
Yeah, the giant psyop, literally. Not every camera works, of course. There's going to be blind spots, and then another character that what got mentioned chapter 2, chapter 3, Red Eye, pops up out of nowhere, and like Little Pip's like, "Oh, do you have any eyes on Red Eye?" And she's like, "No, that's like one of the blind spots. Sorry." And then they talk about the massive weather towers that they can see. Little Pip sees like the whole equestrian wasteland, which is I don't like that because it just makes the world seem smaller. So if she said something else, I would have appreciated more. Like, oh, I can see the entirety of Manhattan or whatever. But when she says like, oh, I see the entirety of the wasteland, it just makes the world seem a lot smaller. And then you kind of ask yourself like, okay, if it's that small where you can see literally everything from this tower, um, why why did it take you so long? And can you like plan stuff out and use this to your advantage? But we'll see later on they really don't. And what else was I gonna say? I will say that Manhattan was done a lot better in the terms of the fan fiction part and writing and environment, like quote unquote world building, compared to the actual game. Because in the actual game, there's just this tower and like a little bit of ruins here and there. Yet the way that this is written, like there's other towers and stuff too. There's other buildings and things like that. It's just that this one's you know, there's individuals living in this one because it's safe. They cleared it out, you know. So that's just something else I was gonna say, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, the chapter just ends there. They just have a little
Yeah, and
chat.
homage, however the fuck you say the name. Offers Pip a quest, but we don't know what it is yet, so that's it.
Yeah.
Encrypted enemy count, a big fat 0. Good job, you did it. Proud of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was
I
alright. I don't like Monterey Jack still. He's retarded.
I keep forgetting. And I'll when we do the next episode, I'll definitely have them already on the side. But we keep having these level up moments, and for this chapter, chapter 16 Towers, is footnote level up, new perk, how we do it down at the farm. In combat, your critical hits are more devastating. Your damage from critical hits include sneak attack. Critical is increased by 50%. This does not affect the chance to cause a critical hit. I don't know where that's coming from, and I don't know why it says how we do it down the farm, but cool, I guess. And another side note before we move on to comments is there are a lot of comments in the actual story that were deleted. So that's crazy. I wonder what got lost in these comments because at least this is the first like 2 pages. There's just a lot of comments that are just delete, 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 delete. It looks like they were having an argument because at least from what people are saying, they're like, "Oh, get a room."
Well, the
Uh,
Jannies came in swinging. I don't know what they were even.
oh yeah, no, they deleted a lot. This person by the name of Taffy. This is back in 2013, so again, this is probably lost unless there's some type of archive. But it's just like um God, where do people like this learn their internet etiquette? And then Taffy responds by saying, YouTube most likely. Great chapter, but I already knew that. Third time reading this fic and it never gets old. But the best part of this chapter, it gets even better from here. Also, the whole toaster repair pony thing is pretty freaking great. And they have a emoji of Pinkie Pie smiling there. But yeah, history just deleted. Just gone forever. It's gone. It's game
Well,
over.
FimFetch doesn't save comments apparently, so
Oh
I'll tell you.
man.
I think that's Lost Media.
Question mark? Lost media? We gotta
The
search.
Lost Internet argument. Oh boys, we got to get the whole team on this.
I mean, yeah, we gotta stop the presses and like go to the lab for this one. But yeah,
Uh,
they had a bit of an
I
argument
will.
there.
I like to hope they were arguing about Monterey Jack being a shit kick.
Maybe. Maybe.
Rating.
Rating.
Since we do ratings now, yeah, we do out of 10
Oh
ratings.
yeah,
We have
sorry.
3 chapters.
I was gathering the comments that some people were leaving. My bad. This chapter, it was, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. The only thing that's holding it back was that there was parts of it where it was a whole lot of nothing, and this probably could have been like one of those chapters where more stuff could have been said rather than having the following chapter that we will talk in the following week, of course. That one's super long, so I feel like this chapter could have taken some of that and had it towards the end, and could have made both chapters like a decent length that normally the rest of them are. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but you said like we're not gonna have really long chapters until we hit like 42, 43.
Yeah, it's like a long chapter. It's a real standout chapter coming up.
Yeah, so it's very interesting that happened because yeah, but that's holding it back, and then um again, like the writing can be a little annoying and also a bit lazy, and just like, oh, remember Monterey Jack from like as you said, like 14 15 chapters ago? Well, he's back. So it's just like, oh, okay, like we're supposed to remember this guy, which, you know, it is what it is. And then I wish Steel Who's had more to say, um because he seems like he has more of understanding what's going on, but again, he's just
Hey,
listening for reasons. For
it's
reasons.
still better than in Project Horizons, where like the character will appear for like 3 paragraphs and like 30 chapters later, like, "Hey, Blackjack, remember me?" No.
You're right.
But yeah, I'll give it a 5 because we had the two worst characters so far in the same room with Velvet and Monterey Jack, and I don't like that.
Yeah, we really hate Velvet Remedy. But yeah, that's it for that. On to some comments you guys left on the previous episodes we released. And let's see. So we had from part 6, we had quite a few. I don't know if you have it open, but I would have it open. So I'm going to start off with the more easier one. And we have wait, do I want to mention this off real quick? Uh just in case we forgot it, from part 5 we had GS Random, and he says, oh no, we read him already, but he's like, oh yeah, you guys finally getting back to it. Nice. The other person that said something was Starlit Knight 6982. And he said, what pisses me off about Velvet is that she doesn't want to hurt hellhounds or slavers, but murders helpless alicorns, no problem. So what do you think about that?
I mean, they're not helpless, but see, yeah, I see his point, or I doubt it. But maybe.
And then um this one's directed to you. So, well, you're always talking smack about P21 here. So, and I quote from our number one fan in Wubway. Okay, buddy, pal, home slice. P21 took those funnies because he was an addict after needing painkillers because of his leg. Blame Daisy. Addiction is a disease. And I say that P21's character arc is a direct complement to Blackjack's. Blackjack was deeply flawed, but fundamentally good. And she thinks she's horrible. P21 actually was a bad pony. So, apathetic. To focus on his own suffering to care about others, who was uplifted by Blackjack. And by the end, he becomes kind and selfless like her. She hurt him, but because of her journey in self improvement, she was able to heal him. His presence goes to show how Blackjack actually helps ponies do better. He even gets to become a teacher. He gives lessons to the Crusaders, and I think that's great. Yeah, I love Blackjack. Her whole do better mantra has been a daily thing for me. Good people can do bad things, but getting up and trying to do better is what makes them good. Punishing bad people doesn't make you good. Showing kindness and mercy does. And by doing so, you can help them become better. End quote. I always try to remember that. You fools! Her character design is an edgy OC black and red. It's the color palette of a playing card. Okay, I did not. I didn't. That's a good point. I didn't see it that
I
way.
knew that, but
Okay,
still.
no. Okay, I get it now. I remember her cutie mark and everything. Okay, you're. I see it now. That's kind of like calling a pony checkers, and yeah, okay, that's good. And then he mentions this. If I was a gay horse, of course I smash B21. Blackjack is a cute pony. All ponies are, but somehow I've ridden a caramel, but I've never even petted a horse IRL. I really want to. So be nice. What's your response to
That's
that?
that's camel, not caramel. Who
Or
rides a
camel?
caramel?
Oh, my bad. I've ridden a camel.
But
Oh, sorry. I have this like super small. I don't know why it's like being super small on the stupid.
I well, we'll start from the top. Daisy is such a shittily written character. Yeah, I don't even know how we're supposed to know what the hell she did because I don't even remember. I
She
guess she was kind of a
bashed
bitch dog.
she bashed his leg in like first chapter with the baton.
No, that was Blackjack, homie.
No, Blackjack just trips him, but she's the one like as Blackjack is taking him to the medical center. Daisy and Marmalade ambush them and starts beating P21. So I think that's where
All right,
he's.
but Blackjack smashes the kneecaps of his of P21's boyfriend. That's why he hates her for like the whole story.
Oh well, yeah, I think that's why P21 doesn't like Blackjack, but I think for this one in particular, we're talking about the addiction, he's blaming Daisy for inflicting the physical injury to him, not the mental
Which
one.
got up on the drugs they gave him.
Okay.
Damn, whatever. Okay, I see his logic, but still, he could have like he had all the time to mention that he had an issue with it. Like how it's funny something that they do that make themselves know you think this happens very deep in the story where it gets revealed that you think they get so point from someone probably like, oh, all our medical advice matters opinion when no one's even getting hurt. Well, it doesn't matter.
Hmm. See, I haven't
I
gotten
think
that far.
someone was even Jack on episode. So I feel like the pony, Lori, who's a little the group doctor would probably be keeping out of medical supplies and know they want missing, but whatever.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean,
But
yeah, I would have an issue there too if I was the. I mean, that probably would be my role if I ever had one would probably be like the team's medic, and I would definitely have any strong medications on lock because first of all, those are rare to get, especially in the post-apocalyptic world, and then second, it's just like I don't need people to be like grabbing that stuff. So I guess you're right. Like if that were to be happening, I definitely would have a very curious eye in seeing, oh, I wonder who's having any signs and symptoms or side effects of like taking these specific meds or chems or whatever. So I agree with you there. And keep going. What else are you gonna say?
uh, well, I don't know what to say about the whole second paragraph. Is He admits that he's a bad pony. So like, what? Oh, anyway, the main point I'm taking away from this is that he admitted that he would smash, and that's a concession right there.
Oh my
He's just
god.
horny. I
Okay.
did say I'm fairly certain in the original recording for that one. I said like he admits that he wants to smash and he's coping. I got to true to my word.
Wow. Well, we move on to that. Again, part 6. This was mentioned in part 6, and this is towards Velvet. He says, "To you, I think I get Afterglow's disdain for Velvet Remedy. She has the personality of a smug, obnoxious Twitter feminist that ironically makes men who have nothing against women into sexists with how bad they make women look. Literally all the same character flaws, except Velvet can actually accomplish a few things with healing, but that's it. And not gonna lie, her design is cool, but if she was a person, she'd have blue hair and face piercings. I just know it."
I mean, he's right. When he's right, he's right.
Yeah. I think that's what we said too. Like, I think we don't care that, oh, female, mare, whatever, because there's plenty of characters in this story that are female and we enjoy them and we love them. But Velvet Remedy, I don't know if K Cat just didn't like her or wanted to have like this annoying character, but she definitely went overboard for Velvet Remedy. And
Implying he got some dude,
well,
bro.
we'll get to that comment when we get to it because they did write something else about that. But hold on. Jesus Christ. Mm,
He's going through mad withdrawal.
no, I said K Cat's name in vain. Sorry, peace be upon K Cat. The FOE thread is already typing up a storm. You can't be saying bad things about K Cat. Anyways, but yeah, she just comes off as just standoffish, wants to like argue about everything, a contrarian. Like it has nothing to do with being a woman, mare, or whatever. It has to do with you just being a jerk that no one wants to be around you. Because if this was a male character, we would have the same problems too. So
And I hate Monterey Jack, and he's a guy.
yeah, I mean, to me, I don't like Monterey Jack for other reasons, but we'll get there in the next chapter because that's where it particularly comes out. But yeah, we'll keep saying that. It's just same thing. Why? I mean, you also get annoyed, but I also get annoyed too when little Pip has her, oh my god, the mayor, oh god, like it's just like, okay, dude, like relax. we get it. So there's that. Um, this guy's name, I don't even know how to say that name. It's like AMO Awesome Art 6074. I'll just call you AAA.
Email awesome art.
Yeah. He says, "I remember way back then, I put on the audio reading of the FOE while playing video with bros and listening religiously every time a new part came out. But now I can't even tell you for the life of me what the plot of it actually was, other than vague idea that little Pip shot some raiders and looted the local ruins." So I don't know if you watched everything in order, my guy, but you're on part 6. So maybe going back may shed some light on that. But I appreciate your comment and I appreciate the fact that you put some time here. And yeah, those do also bring back memories of playing Fallout while listening to Fallout Equestria. So
Oh my god, this guy.
yeah, nah, I was that guy. I was that guy. And then for part 7, we get two big paragraphs here. So we get the actual story one, and then we get one against. Oh man, we get one against K Cat. So I'll start with the story one. It's a bit shorter. So I believe this was when we were talking about Pinky Bell here. So he says, counterpoint: why wouldn't Pinky Bell dedicate herself to Pinkie Pie? There's a fork. All else to do when you're a neuro. Wait, what?
Neurotic.
Neurotic compulsive obsessive orphan. That is a mouthful of words. Um, child in the middle of nowhere. Just like, why not dedicate yourself to Nuka-Cola? The MOM could disguise its pre-war when ponies were there to uphold a disguise. What's stopping anyone from walking into some place and strolling into a spy room? Let's assume that beyond little Pip, there are ponies capable of bypassing security measures, assuming little Pip and her main character syndrome aren't there to ensure she's always the first scavenger to explore. That is that is something I said before too, and like in other chapters that we go and mentioned is like it's just so odd, and I think even Little Pip says that in the story of like how come no one's like looted this place? Like I can't be the only one with the screwdriver and bobby pin. So yeah, I we've also mentioned that, and she also mentions that. So there's a bit of an issue there, but it is what it is. Um, going back to your quote, lore dumps have to happen occasionally, and in this instance, it makes more sense or is at least more interesting than some of the others. The way I see it, KCAT is at least trying to add Fallout-ish whimsal. I don't even know how to say that word. I always like
Whimsy.
whimsy. Well, I
Call
can't.
yourself a writer?
Dave, I'm a writer. It doesn't mean I can read. Um, I always like Todd Howard's description Fallout Wastelanders as people who are struggling to survive but still won't pass up using hairspray if they found some. Maybe FOE Wastelanders aren't the type to pass up streamers and balloons when they find them. Yeah, that's that. What do you think about that?
Uh, uh, oh, I don't know, man.
I like how they noticed besides even Little Pip themselves, like why they keep finding these like lore dump things that you would think would get taken away as time has gone on. Because I'm sure maybe the most random pony won't like use the lore dumps for like sentimental reasons, but probably will like get the holotapes or whatever, delete them to clear out the memory, and then use it for their own. You know. Another thing too that pops into my mind is uh all like the safes and all that stuff, as mentioned before, like they're always locked. I think there's a couple times later on in the story where little Pip opens it to find nothing, but early on there's always something there. So again, it's just weird, but I'm glad other people are noticing that too. Uh, last quote. This is a big one. This is a big comment. This is also on part 7. This is about KCAT. So if I had to profile KCAT, I say when writing Fallout Equestria, KCAT was a teenager, probably a girl, based on the type of melodrama they have in their writing, probably a sort of recluse nerd type and a lesbian back when that wasn't as aggressively accepted as it is now. I remember when being a brony was a major taboo and how that kind of unnerved me as a kid. The male characters are all kind of a single type. Calamity's is strong, dependable, loyal, mellow. Steelhooves is strong, dependable, loyal, and mellow, but edgy and mysterious. Even Spike is like that in his ways. Velvet is
Whoa,
sassy.
whoa, whoa! Who's Spike? I've never heard that guy in my life.
Velvet is sassy, motherly, dramatic, given to emotions, spontaneous and dramatic. She's hot to a lesbian, but flawed in that she is too dramatic. I suppose K-Cat saw an opposites attracting with the laid back, rugged Calamity and Velvet and wrote them together, but created Homage for Pip. Homage is like a female Calamity in how she is cool, chill, and she also has the kind of fire spunk dom thing that little Pip likes, which K-Cat likes. Holy crap.
Awooga, hot lesbian man sex.
That's crazy. Um But what I'm getting at is K-Cat's flaws are rooted in what I call a juvenile sense of drama, which is melodrama and things happening solely because they are dramatic without much essential build-up pacing to make them work. I like that. I like how you see that. And just by their nature, they are somewhat immature and fall in that I can see what you were trying to do, but you don't quite hit the mark zone you get from teenage logic. By those standards, FOE is actually pretty good compared to other things. I wouldn't be surprised if KCOW went on to be a professional writer and hasn't taken credit for FOE because they don't want it to tarnish their career. Just by judging by your voices, I'm imagining you're in my age bracket, so I bet the nostalgia filter comes partly from reading this when you were young enough to not notice some of the melodramatic stuff because you were too young for it to stand out as much as it does now. And then they mention I just got done working the night shift and writing 4,000 word script. I just got my first angry customer today, so I feel you, Enclave. We'll check out Chrysalis. I hope you did. And I hope you see my comment that I left. I did say to drop your Discord. Oh man, I said the application that should not be named. Uh-oh. They're not gonna like that. Um
Makes me howl at the moon.
yeah. You're dumb. But I said go ahead and do that. You can contact me there for some of the stuff you wanted to ask. Another thing, yeah, FOE, as we like to keep on mentioning, we appreciate what it did with the fandom. It did a lot. There's a whole cult classic behind it. People that haven't even seen the show sometimes know of FOE. And there was also pictures of the Bethesda development team that had plushies of like little Pip and like other references of Wild Equestria. I believe they made like a few in the games, but I would have to go and look for them. I know the horsey they made. They said that's like a loose reference to MLP in general, but I'm sure there was other references. I had to look. There was a freaking video out there a couple years back that said like, "Oh, here's the references," but I'm not sure if it's still up. Um, Other than that, though, I like how you analyze that. You're right. When we were younger, at least for me, I didn't notice that little melodramatic things and all that kind of stuff. I just thought like, oh, that's just how normal people write. But I like how you're able to like find that profile. It's really good. Anything you want to
Is
add there?
Wubway gonna be a special guest at some point? Oh no.
Probably. I mean, if
Oh
they
no.
they want to join us for some FOE conversations, I think they're more into that than they are into vanilla. But I don't want to put words in their mouth. They seem to have a lot of knowledge about this as well.
We'll have to do a bonus episode at some point.
Oh yeah, let's include them in the chapter 22.5. I'm sure they'll love that.
It's 20.5.
Or my bad, 25.5.
Yeah, that wasn't right either, but sure.
I don't know.
It's
Dude.
coming up, bro. It's only like 3 chapters away.
Oh no, I can't wait to describe that scene. It's so wonderful.
It's not even really sect. It's literally just like character building. That's like 90% of it.
Yeah.
They don't even like go into detail about them talking, so I don't know why you're being so prudish.
Nah, I just find it funny that there's like we have to have the scene, guys. Guys, we have to have the scene, guys.
Well, you can't blame KCAT for that, and he didn't write it.
You gotta have the scene, guys.
Well, KCAT says it's canon if you want it to be, and I say it is.
Yeah.
That's what you give when you give the leader that power, KCAT.
I really appreciate you, Wubway. I like the call out you gave us for so you want to write a story. Appreciate that. I also wanted to mention that. I really appreciate that.
Well, if we need to get KCAT in the final episode. I'm just saying.
They are okay. They are online on fanfic. Maybe if this gets enough of a following, maybe if we have more than 1,000 subscribers, maybe they'd be willing to
Yes,
come on.
all of our followers go spam KCAT's DMs on fanfic and get them to do it.
Yeah, tell them to join the mares and stuff. Fallout Equestria review. I'm sure they're gonna really appreciate us like crapping on their writing.
Look, if they are any kind of writer I've ever met, they'll also agree that the shit they wrote 10 years ago was ass. Because I know I would. Everything I made like 2 years ago, I think is ass.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be very interesting. Even if they did like a written response, I would enjoy that. You know, I'll settle for that, KCAT. But
how do you know they're not already listening? They could be here and they could be among us.
Oh. They could either be you. They could even be me. You don't even know. I could be K-Cat Afterglow. It's a big.
Yeah, you'd be in the right age. I did remember when like 16 when this came out. You could have written it as like a 6.
Probably.
If Wubway's theory is true.
Probably. I mean, it's a possibility. Maybe it's just a big ol' op. You don't even realize that. How would you feel if
That's crazy.
How would you feel if I told you like something very crazy at the last episode? How would you feel?
Yeah. They're gonna be like screaming at me for shitting on your story for the whole time.
I was K-Cat all along, Afterglow. I don't appreciate you shitting on my story.
That's crazy. Truly an homage moment.
But yeah, that's all I really got. Again, I appreciate those that comment on our videos, engagement. Really enjoy it. I love it to see it. Even on the other videos, I know I didn't mention those comments, but I really appreciate those too. We'll discuss those in those appropriate videos. So don't worry. I saw your comments on the "So You Want to Write a Story" video. Those are more to come. Next chapter, we're gonna do that on its own as well, because as we mentioned when the episode started, it's a very long chapter, and we would have probably been here for at least 2 hours. Like, we're already at an hour and 15 minutes right now, so it would have definitely been like 2 hours. So stay tuned for that one. More videos are to come. We have more writing videos, more what is it? Edits, and we have a "So You Want to Create an OC" video coming up. We're cooking that. And if you guys have any other suggestions or anything like that, by all means, put it in the comments below or on the community posts. We are called the Mares and Stuff channel for a reason. We also would love to do side stuff, but of course, mares are going to be the main focus point of this channel. And if there's anything else that you want to say before we go, Afterglow, you have the mic.
I hate Velvet Remedy.
Don't worry, guys. In about a year's time, we'll get to Project Horizons, and we'll be done in like 2035, because that is a fast
Still
story.
be done fast. Still be done fast, and Sombra's done writing the sequel.
Oh, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting if we actually did. We need to have a side episode on that to see like what the progress is on that, because there's just no way that they haven't gotten that halfway done.
Well, I don't think you've updated in like over a year.
Oh God, it's so Jover. It's so Jover. President Biden dropped out of the race. Sombra's not even
we
gonna
don't
finish.
get political on this channel. I'll get them out.
No. Sombra hasn't finished his story. It's so Jover. The U.S. is falling apart. Oh God, help us all.
Actually, the sequel for Punch Wrestler has been updated in over 2 years. My bad.
Oh no! What's the exact date?
April 11th, 2022.
Ooh, we're about to
like
hit
2.5 years almost.
We're about to hit 3. That's oh boy.
Hey man, I fully believe he will either finish it or drop dead. There's no other alternative.
They want to be like the most what is it? Longest fanfic in MLP history, and I think they have enough spite to do it. I believe in you, Sombra. I believe in you.
It's Somber.
Okay, Somber. My bad.
Hey, I need to mention this. I don't think I did, but I found this like talk he did about writing tips, and he goes like, "Oh yes, I'm Sombra. I wrote Project Horizons, Fallout Equestria, Project Horizons, and its sequel, Fallout Equestria, and he just trails off. He can't even remember the name of the story he wrote, and that was so fucking funny to me.
Oh boy, maybe he did that on purpose because he posted it somewhere else under a different name. But I mean, maybe I'm just reading into it too much.
Now what's him? It's like the whole point of the video is it's writing to some guy who wrote Project Horizons.
Oh boy, maybe we'll do a special on that and see what he freaking suggests.
I mean, it's like 3 hours long, so
okay, well, you know,
long sit.
It'll be a 2-parter. All right. Well, this has been your host this has been your host Enclave. This has been your host Enclave. I'm so happy for you guys to join us, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.
Trolling the question Wasteland almost makes you wish for a nuclear win.
Mares.
That's my line.